Welcome to Charm and Circumstance. I'm your host, Ashley Morgan from Ashley Morgan Interiors, and I am pumped because it's really spring here. And it's warm, it's sunny, it's unseasonably warm. In fact, I have a sunburn. It's so warm. Who knew you could get sunburned in March in Kentucky? But apparently, I didn't know that. So, spring has this sneaky way of making you notice things, not in a dramatic, like drop everything and fix your life way, but more like that gentle nudge because the light changes, the days feel longer. They really, are longer. And suddenly you see your space differently. That pile of mail that's basically become a part of the decor now, the chair that's no longer really a chair, it's just a holding zone for stuff. The one drawer that you open very carefully, like it might bite back, it all builds up slowly. By the way, I have that drawer, so no judgment. And then one day you're like, wait, how did my house end up holding this much stuff? And that moment is actually where good design begins. Because creating a beautiful home is not about always adding things, but often it's about beginning to take things away. So today we're going to walk through 4 steps to creating a home that actually feels good to live in. So we're going to talk about clearing the clutter, choosing color with intention, styling without overdoing it, and pulling it all together to start right at your entryway. From floor plans to finishing touches, function to the feeling you get walking into a room, I'm Ashley Morgan, an interior designer with a love for beautiful living and a belief that great design should tell your story. I've spent over 20 years in the industry, and now I'm pulling back the curtain on interiors, sharing insight, inspiration, and the strategy behind well-designed spaces. Expect smart design talk, refined tips, and just the right mix of polish and personality. So pour something sweet and join me for a thoughtful conversation with a generous helping of charm and circumstance. So first, let's talk about clarity before design, decluttering. I know it's not the sexiest topic. It's also possibly the topic that drives overwhelm more than anything. Most people treat it like a chore. Some people love it. I honestly love it. I feel so accomplished in getting rid of things. So if that is not you, I'm sorry. I don't feel your pain, but hopefully you get to enjoy the aftermath of it just as much as I do. This might be something that you power through on a Sunday and hope you never have to think about it again. But here's the shift. Designers don't declutter just to clean up. They edit. Before anything new comes into a space, something has to go. They make room, they create breathing space because clutter isn't just physical, it's visual. Your brain is constantly scanning your environment. Every object is like, hey, look at me. And when everything is trying to get your attention, nothing actually stands out and it just reads as clutter. But when you edit things down, then the whole space just exhales. It feels calm, light, more supportive. And here's the key. Decluttering isn't about having less stuff just for the sake of it. It's about making sure that what does stay actually matters. So don't start with your whole house. That is overwhelming for anyone. Pick one small spot. Your nightstand, kitchen counter, your bathroom sink, clear it completely. Then slowly, intentionally put things back. And as you do, ask yourself, if I were designing this space from scratch, would I choose this? Not, do I need it? Was it expensive? but does it belong in the feeling that I want to create here? That's when you stop just storing things and you start curating your space. And once you've got that clarity, that's when the color comes in. So let's talk about how color shapes emotion. Color is so important that brands like fast food brands like McDonald's, for example, colors red and yellow have been proven to make us hungry. So that's why those brands, and you'll see like a lot of cereal boxes or food products are red or yellow because those warm colors drive that desire. Their pink is known to calm. There have been studies done in prisons where they will paint walls pink, put prisoners in pink jumpsuits, and monitor how it actually calms the environment. There is scientific research to back the emotional effect that color has on every human being. It's a powerful tool. Color is one of those things that feels weirdly high pressure. It is probably the most common request that I get when people aren't even wanting my help to design the full space or do that full service interior design, but they just want my advice on picking paint colors. And it seems very overwhelming to most people because color is pretty complicated and it is not just about choosing the hue, like the blue or the red or the green. There are so many details that go into this. So what if you choose the wrong color and ruin everything? Here's the truth. Color isn't something to stress over. It's something to understand because color never exists on its own. It's always reacting to something. Light, definitely light, materials around it, furniture, even other colors around it. That's why the exact same paint can look amazing in one house and totally off in another. It didn't change, its context did. And this is where undertones come in. Every neutral, yes, even beige and gray, even white, has an undertone. Some lean warm, so think like cozy, calm, grounded, and others lean cool, which is more like daylight, cool, crisp, fresh. When your undertones work together, your home can feel cohesive. And when they don't, something is going to feel off and it's just going to clash. And you may not be able to explain why. So here's the goal. You don't want every room to look the exact same. You want them to feel connected, like there's a subtle thread tying everything together, because that continuity, that's what creates calm. And color also quietly shapes your mood. Soft neutrals create peace. Darker tones are cozy and intimate. Lighter tones are open and fresh. It's basically emotional design without saying a word. Once your space is clear and your colors feel intentional, that's when we get to move into the final layer, styling. All right, so styling is the final layer. And you know that moment when everything is technically done. Your furniture's in place, the walls are painted, everything should feel finished, but it just doesn't. That's where styling comes in. And styling is not just adding cute stuff. It's editing again. It's about refining what's already there, balancing things out, removing distractions, creating flow. A well-styled space plays with contrast. So tall next to short, smooth next to textured, structured next to soft. That mix is what makes a room feel interesting, like a stack of books with something sculptural on top, or a woven basket next to a sleek ceramic piece. But just as important as what you add is what you don't. Not every surface needs something on it. Not every wall needs art. You need empty walls, as they call it in graphic design, white space. Leaving space, actual empty space, is what lets your favorite pieces stand out. Whether it's on a bookshelf, on a tabletop, on a blank wall, or even a coffee table. It's what gives your eye a place to rest. And when you get that balance right, your home stops feeling staged and starts feeling like you. And one of the best places to really feel that shift, right when you walk in the door. And that brings us to our fourth step, the power of the entryway. Your entryway doesn't just welcome guests, it welcomes you. So it's that moment where you step out of the noise of the world and enter into your own space. It's your reset. But a lot of entryways end up just being an afterthought. Shoes everywhere. Random piles, no real system. The good news, it doesn't take much to fix it. Entryways are always pretty standard in how they are laid out. So you just need a few intentional pieces. First, some kind of surface, a console, a table, even a small shelf. Just somewhere for your everyday stuff to land. Keys, mail, your bag. All the things that usually end up scattered. Second, a mirror. It reflects light. This is key. Mirrors are not always just to look at ourselves. They are powerful in reflecting natural light or lamplight, so it makes the space feel bigger. And it gives you that quick, okay, I'm good, check on the way out the door. Third, lighting. You always need some sort of cozy lighting inside that entryway door. So soft, warm lighting instantly changes the mood when you walk in. And finally, something grounding, a rug, a bench, even one solid sculptural piece, something that visually says this is a space. But put those together and suddenly your entryway isn't just functional, but it feels like an arrival. Designing your home isn't about getting everything perfect. It's about moving through step by step. First, you clear the space. Then you reshape how it feels with color. Then you refine it with styling. And finally, you create meaningful moments like the way it feels to walk through the front door. Small changes, intentional choices. Because when your home actually supports your life, everything else starts to feel a little lighter too. I'll see you in the next episode, friends. Thanks for joining me on Charm and Circumstance. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow along on Instagram, because charm is personal and circumstance is what you make of it.